you ever seen the first Batman serial from 1943?
No.
With Lou Wilson, who has Worcester connections.
I've seen stills, though, with the mask. And
Yeah.
the mask is funny because it looks like it's a school project made out
A little
of
bit.
felt.
Yeah, aren't the ears like horns?
Yeah, they kinda
pointing
go-
this
Sticks
way?
out.
Kinda
The nose
kicking.
sticks out.
But what's great about that serial is there's a couple of points where Batman actually gets annoyed with Robin. He's like,
Really?
I told you to go do that.
Nice.
Go do it.
That's more
And
realistic.
Exactly. It's exactly how
Oh,
it
that's
would make your old
hilarious. I didn't know
sidekick.
that.
Actually,
And then Doom came in with an iron fist.
How many, now, have there been live action appearances of Doom? I believe he was in the first Fantastic Four movie.
He
Yeah,
was
He was
in
in the
both.
Roger
He was in both
Corman
of them.
one, right?
He was in both of them. He was in like both of the.
Yeah, he was in the
better-
Foreman one, which never saw the light of day, really.
Yeah, which
Yeah,
was
but
better-
everyone's
which
seen-
was better than
I don't
the
think
two
so.
new ones, I think. At least the costumes
Cheesy.
look more accurate.
Well,
He was lame in the movies, though. He was terrible in the
Well,
movies.
they
He was.
mischaracterized
I,
him
I, will, I will concede that point.
They
They
mischaracterized
didn't do it
him.
right. They didn't do his character right.
Yeah.
I mean, he was
That's why I don't remember him.
they just made him another megalomaniacal tycoon.
Yeah.
You know.
and he was missing the European accent.
Well, not only that.
Yeah, you gotta have
they
that,
had the
yeah.
origin story right there in FF Annual 2 by Kirby.
Yeah.
He was the son of a gypsy, and she was murdered, and he, swore revenge.
Yeah.
And it was just a great story, but in the movie, they didn't do it at all. It was crap.
Yeah, it was kind of phoned in.
Yeah, it was
I
fun.
kind of felt the whole movie was a little bit,
It was rushed.
It was skin deep. It just didn't.
That's some great effects, though, but it was kind of rushed.
They didn't delve into the FF. They didn't get the spirit of it.
Exactly, and that's what. And when I say that they're the Brady Bunch of the comics, there's a charm to that. There's a value to that because it's interesting that that family dynamic. We all have families. We all know we don't get along 24/7. So having that in comics is a brilliant thing. I think that's really a great.
Well, somewhat they're goody two shoes too. I mean,
Exactly,
Reed
and that-
Richards is the ultimate do-gooder.
Exactly.
And that was appealing to me when I was 12, 13.
Yeah.
He seemed like the perfect human being to me. And Sue and John, even Johnny, the rebellious teenager, he was so clean cut,
Yeah.
and clean. But of course, that was a part of the time, the comics code.
If you want to see the best version of the Fantastic Four outside of comics, watch the Venture Brothers, and they have a take on the Fantastic Four
Really?
where Sue is in an abusive relationship and she's afraid to tell Reed that she wants out, and Johnny is a mess. It's just
That's
it's
hilarious.
a great,
Sounds hilarious. Oh,
it's a
God.
great take on it.
God, funny. Now, Batman, of course, is a psycho. He's a psycho.
It depends on the version that you go
The
with.
whack job.
Well, I don't agree with that. I think DC Comics now, and they're trying to shy away from that, trying to get back towards the
Really,
more.
because for decades they were doing the whack
Yeah,
job.
since the
Dark
Frank
Knight.
Miller,
Yeah.
Dark Knight. And that's something that's kind of misinterpreted, because if you look at Frank Miller's work on the Dark Knight, all he did was make him Dirty Harry. Now Dirty Harry, you could argue, depending on your political slant, is either a psycho or he's getting it
A
done.
vigilante.
Yeah, exactly.
But Dr. Doom, he's very stable.
Is he?
Yeah. See, he's
Yeah, any guy that wears
That's right.
armor and velvet.
He's just covering up his blemish.
yes,
Now, is
he's stable, man. He's consistent.
Is he deformed under
He's
there? Is that
scarred.
the whole thing?
He got in college when he was roommate with Reed Richards. He was doing an experiment and it blew up in his face, and he ended up getting scarred.
Now, here's the funny thing.
Burnt half his
There's
face off.
contrariness about that, because Kirby, in an interview later, said the way he envisioned Doom was that he was so vain that all that happened was he got a little blemish,
Yeah.
and it was so horrifying to him that he thought he was completely disfigured.
Yeah.
So either way is kind of interesting. I
Which-
always pictured him as being so horrible that you couldn't look at him.
There's a great story done by Jim Aparo in one of the Batman family issues. I think it's either the first time it's in Detective Comics or it's like the last issue of Batman Family. And it's called Scars. And it's about this deranged killer that hides behind a mask. And when he finally unmasks him, he has just a tiny, tiny thumbnail-sized cut.
See, he read that interview.
I
Clearly.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Absolutely.
How come Kirby couldn't get these brilliant ideas onto the page when he was doing it all himself? Why did it just
He
skew
did get the
off
brilliant
into
ideas on the page.
craziness?
They were there.
Okay.
Yeah, they were there. The problem is he needed an editor.
Yeah.
And
he definitely needed a
he
dialogue
needed a
coach.
scripter. Yeah. You realize how great a scripter and characterizer that Stan was, and he was a great editor.
Yeah.
Because he kept everything consistent. Everything worked interlocked, and Kirby couldn't do that. He would just, like you said, he'd skew off, but the energy and the ideas were there,
Yeah.
and the characters, but it was just all over the
But I think that's a great example. That Stan on his own wasn't as good as he
No.
was without Ditko or Kirby. And
No.
Ditko and Kirby on their own weren't as good as they were with Stan.
No, the synchronicity there was perfect.
Yeah, it really was.
You know what? We were lucky. We were lucky. We grew up with this synchronicity happening. I just see it as a gift.
Yeah.
Now, why do you think that Batman, that wimpy, weak
Mhm.
Batman with no superpowers and an indeterminate utility belt where he has his anti-superpowered armored villain repellent spray can defeat Doctor Doom?
Well, I think, like I said before, he's street smart. So yeah, he.
Now, do you think he can defeat Doctor Doom or just survive and not
No, I
get
think he can
killed by
defeat.
Doctor Doom?
I think he defeat Doctor Doom. I think it's a pretty
Jose,
level.
wouldn't Doctor Doom kind of take him?
He's wiped the streets with him. Come on.
I think it would be a close fight. Definitely be a close
No,
fight.
it wouldn't.
Yeah, it would.
No, it wouldn't. I'll
But
tell you what. I'll
Doom's
tell you
an
what.
armored
I'll tell you what.
dreadnought.
I'll concede to you one thing, and which I didn't concede to you before. I'll concede to you one thing. Out of every 10 fights, I'll give Batman the chance of winning one.
Yeah, but you didn't give me that before.
That's right. I didn't give you that.
Why
before.
would you give him that?
No. I said a chance to win. I didn't say he was going to beat him. I said a chance of winning one. Which
Why, you
is,
think Doctor Doom will fall down?
Doctor Doom might just get bored with it
I think it's more
and
about
walk
half.
away with it.
Yeah,
I don't think he has a snowball's chance in hell.
You know
I
what?
think
Doctor
that-
Doom would get his back broken by Bane. He'd just give Bane a kick.
See, I think Batman
Give him a
is
repellent
street smart, and yeah, my grandmother could beat Superman with a kryptonite ring, but Batman has the ability to get that kryptonite ring and to figure out how to beat Superman with that kryptonite ring.
Yeah,
So
let's,
my grandmother.
and let's point something out that Batman
Your grandmother would kick the
Batman getting his back broken by Bane is from that same '90s era of bad comics.
Squirrels.
that
Bad comedy
Doom
of
was getting
squirrels.
beaten up by
Of squirrels.
So, Bane,
Yeah, okay, I give you
squirrels.
that. Okay, that's fine.
So here's the deal. I'll tell you exactly what happens, and I
Bruce
could,
Batman is Santa Claus, by the way.
and that's not the most terrible
It isn't.
Christmas one because there's one where Batman actually
Let
goes
me see it,
Christmas
Ted.
caroling.
Are you serious?
Yeah, bad.
Oh, I remember that
Danny
story.
O'Neill, Neil Adams.
Neil
I don't know what they were thinking.
Is that one of the big Christmas
No,
treasures?
that's in one of the regular
I actually
issues.
love that issue. I love that story.
Because
I think it's a great story.
You think that it's cool that he takes a break and sings
yes,
some song?
and it's
I-
hilarious.
I don't disagree with you because I don't like the psycho version of Batman. And I'll tell you why. There is no question in my mind. This fight goes 2 rounds and it's over. Doom walks in with arrogance, thinking this ordinary mortal can't possibly beat me. And Batman,
'Cause he can't.
who is extremely smart, arguably the smartest character in the DC universe, that's what they've said, not me, would have strategized. While he's even gearing up with Doom, he's got the ability to communicate back with Oracle and Alfred in the Batcave and work out some kind of strategy towards him. And I guarantee you,
Isn't Oracle from the 90s?
yeah,
Yeah, but she's Batgirl. She's Batgirl from the 60s, though.
yeah, so I guarantee it. There's no doubt in my mind he could take Doctor Doom. And I think the facts are simple.
Doctor Doom's like
Superman could take
immovable.
Doctor Doom. There's no way you can't tell me that he couldn't.
Well, Superman's
The problem with
story.
the problem with Superman is that he's a goody two shoes. So he's not taking it all the way. The difference is Batman is not a goody two shoes, and he takes it all the way. So Batman,
Yeah, but you're a psycho, and you could take it all the way too. You wouldn't be able to beat Doom.
I think I could.
Batman does not take it out. He won't kill.
Au contraire, my friend. In the first year of Batman, he has 31 deaths to his credit.
Yeah,
He shoots
and-
people.
Shoots, tosses
In
them
year
off
one.
buildings.
But you
Right.
can't.
Him
You
off,
couldn't do
uh,
that with Doom. I mean, you couldn't even hope to do that.
In year one, and then didn't he have an aversion to using a gun because his parents got killed by a gun?
He had an aversion to using a gun because parents groups called in and said, my kid's reading a comic book and this guy's shooting people in the face. So all of a sudden Batman said, well, maybe I won't do that.
Well, he's not beating Doom with a gun now.
Meanwhile, the Human Torch is burning somebody's arm off. You know,
I-
that's all right.
Yeah, exactly.
That's why Herbie the Robot was invented.
Oh my God! Please.
Herbie the Robot.
That's why Herbie the Robot
Wait a
was
minute. I need a
invented.
barrel.
Yeah, Herbie the Robot. I think that Batman.
Could Herbie the Robot beat Doom?
No.
He's pretty formidable.
I would like to see.
You know what? He puts on a good front, being like just a sweet little toy.
Now, did they ever break? They brought Herbie into the continuity of Marvel.
They did.
Yeah, they got rid of Ben Grimm.
No. I'm not talking about in the. Oh, wait a minute. In the series.
In the
Yeah.
in the series in the FS
Yeah.
they
They
brought
get rid of
him
the
in.
best character
Okay.
and bring in Herbie. I mean,
Did it do anything? I mean, was there a hope for
yeah,
it?
it made a lot of people vomit.
Yeah.
I think.
Well, I mean, you're talking about an
That's
industry that's
projectile.
been around for 75 years. I mean, there are going to be good stories, going to be bad stories. I mean, it's hard to tell stories with these same characters over and over and
Yeah,
over.
but you know what? In the good and the bad stories, Doom squashes Batman.
Yeah.
It's like Batman charges him, bounces off, and then realizes, okay, I can't just do a headlong charge. I'm all bruised up.
You have Doom who's all teched up first, so he's all teched up. And then, not only that, but he's probably the second most powerful sorcerer in the Marvel Universe, behind
Yep.
Doctor Strange.
Yep.
He has that to fall back on.
Yep.
You know, I mean,
Well, you know what Doctor Doom has? He has an super villain repellent spray. So basically, when Batman pulls out his super armored megalomaniacal villain
Yeah, that's good.
spray,
That's a good one.
He's got the antidote, and so then he.
the antidote.
All right, let's. You want to bring this to reality? Let's bring it to reality.
All right.
Let's take Hulk Hogan.
I mean, what are the chances
Let's put him in a
Batman
suit.
have
Put him
besides
in
the
a suit
utility
of
belt stuff?
armor. Put him in a suit of armor with a mask. So his vision is through two tiny holes in that mask.
Yeah, but he has
right?
devices.
Whoa, listen.
Devices.
Now let's put Bruce Lee in there. Bruce Lee's just wearing his pants, and he has nunchucks, and that's it. Now, do you honestly think for a second that Bruce Lee couldn't clean the mat with Hulk Hogan in armor, just out of dexterity,
But
just
Hulk
being able to get
Hogan's
behind
just a
him?
big goofus.
Well,
And he's
Dr.
not an
Doom.
inventor.
Well, Doctor Doom, his
Well, I
invent.
never denied
so
that.
at any point when Doctor Doom is in this fight, is he going to stop and invent something?
No, he has everything he needs.
Oh, with him.
Oh yeah.
I-
Haven't you read the stories?
I think no, I haven't read them all. I think Doom's a
He's
great
always
character.
got something, you know.
I think-
Grimm's charging him.
I
and
think
he's got
Doom's
some
a great
thing to
character,
pin him down
But
to the
in the
ground.
pyramid of comics, there is Batman and Superman, and then there is the rest.
Only in terms of history.
No, in
Historical.
terms of icon, in terms of
Nah.
of power, in terms of everything.
What?
Batman and Superman are the
You're demented.
same gender parents of the entire industry.
Joe,
So.
Joe, I hope you haven't inherited this gene.
No, I agree with him.
This
Yeah,
dementia.
I agree with him.
Oh my God.
I don't agree.
It is inherited.
You know, I'll give you. You know, Batman is Batman, and you know, I always
Batman's
get.
bad.
I always get the argument from some people that he wins the fight because he's Batman.
Yeah, but we're
That's a
giving you.
crock.
We're not saying that. We're giving
I
you
know.
I'm
facts.
giving you, yeah.
But I'm just saying, I don't see the high appeal of the character. This is what I'm saying. I don't think he would beat Doom. I don't. He's
Well,
just
people
a
can
regular
connect with that.
human.
That's why.
He's at peak levels of of super fitness and whatever, and he has a really keen mind. But
He couldn't even beat Captain America.
Yeah,
I believe he
we
did.
won't.
Captain
No,
America's
no, no.
superpowered.
I believe
He
he
actually
did.
No, that's a discussion for another day.
In Spider-Man, the new one, they're going to try to put more story in there.
Oh,
And
okay.
less just CGI stuff.
changed the costume too.
Which it actually looks like Tobey Maguire's costume.
Yeah, it looks like the Ditko kind with the white eyes.
I like that, yeah.
Now
That's
remind
cool.
me, are they still going with the mutant?
No.
Web
He actually
shooters?
made web
He did.
shooters
Yeah,
for
that was
this.
better. I like that.
Yeah, he made them in the first one. He made them out
Yeah.
of watches.
They changed that, yeah.
Oh, okay. To be honest with you, the new Spider-Man movie, I read a review of it where they frickin' said it was horrible, right? And I'm thinking, oh no, it's gonna be bad, redundant. Why are they rebooting Spider-Man?
Yeah.
When I saw it, it was good.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
thought
but-
it was going to be.
But
bad
you
liked
too.
it.
But
Yeah,
you went
was
into
good.
it expecting it to be nothing.
Yeah.
I gotta admit though, it was good.
Yeah.
And I like Gwen Stacy. That was a big part of it. I like the actress who played her.
Yeah.
I keep forgetting her name.
Emma
Whatever.
Stone.
Yeah.
Emma
Emma Stone. She looked perfect.
Yeah, she
Yeah.
definitely much better than the Mary Jane.
Yeah, Mary Jane just
Yeah,
doesn't
she's
do it
she's
for me.
ugly.
And she just doesn't. She got the big head and the
She was
snaggle
gross.
teeth. But yeah, she just. You couldn't see the appeal.
She was.
I gotta say though, Tobey Maguire was a really cool Peter Parker.
He was.
This other guy, Andy Garfield,
The jury's out.
he's not bad. I mean, he's got the right build, but he looks a little too Twilightish for me.
He's a bit Twilighty. Yeah, I know you don't like Twinkly, and I
I like
can't blame you.
Twinklies.
I can't blame you. But we'll see. The jury's out on him for
Yeah,
me.
I'm willing to give it another
I
shot.
loved Stan's cameo. That was the best cameo.
Yeah. I
You know what
agree,
was
yeah.
wrong with the new Amazing Spider-Man? The lack of J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah,
Because
you need
they
Jay Jonah.
I don't care if they reboot.
And you know what?
Bring back that same guy.
J.K. Simmons
Yeah,
is
he's
great.
He's
perfect, yeah.
fantastic.
He's fantastic.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
Betty Brant. Those two from the first
Yeah.
movies,
Yeah.
they were great.
Well, Betty
You gotta
Brant
have
played by
Betty.
Elizabeth Banks, so she's.
Yep, you got to bring her back
Well,
because
that's not so bad.
that's the whole story. You know, what I mean, that's the gist of it. Those Ditko Spider-Mans are the best there ever was. So
They
you
were,
just
absolutely.
do those.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, Hollywood producers and writers, they have egos. They always
Yeah, they
have to
gotta
put
tweak.
their own stamp on it. Yeah, it's hard to get them to cooperate.
Do you think that that's always going to be like that, or do you think that eventually comics get more respect as they're more popular.
I
and
think
they
they're
kinda
already
stepped
getting
back.
more respect. I think the popularity is showing that the germ is there, like
Yeah.
the genius is in the stories.
Because they're rebooting the Fantastic Four,
Thank you.
which is nice. And the thing to me
The
on
weird
it,
thing is, the FF, honestly, individual parts, like, I liked the Thing. I liked Johnny. He was good, and Sue Storm was okay. Reed was too wimpy for me.
yeah,
He wasn't like in the comic.
yeah.
Doom was crap. So the
Excuse me?
Anybody in there? Hello? But somehow the whole did not add up to some of the parts. It just didn't have.
Well, Jessica Biel, Sue Storm's supposed to be the girl next door, and Jessica Biel, come on.
Well, not Biel.
Jessica Alba.
Alba, she's not the girl next door.
Yeah,
Biel would have been
she's
a better pick.
wonder hottie, but
Yeah,
not
it just
Sue Storm.
and she doesn't fit. Doesn't look like
It
she
didn't
belongs
look
in
right.
that, you
Yeah,
know?
I agree.
And I honestly, I didn't like the Thing. I thought the
Really?
guy,
You
I
know,
thought
like
the guy
Chris
playing
Bristol.
him was just too much like himself. I mean, I've seen him on other things.
see, I haven't seen him.
And the costume was just You know, it wasn't
You
like
know what? The Thing is impossible. I think I gave him a little slack. 'cause
Roger
it is-
Corman's Thing costume is actually decent.
I don't know.
Yeah,
It's
it
pretty
was
cheesy.
good.
It's got the brows. That's the thing they forget is like these heavy brows. It's like the Hulk. They keep doing the same thing with the Hulk, where they just take the actor and they just Hulk him out.
Oh yeah.
So he doesn't look like a monster. He looks like the guy.
He needs to look more
It'd be like
monstrous.
exactly. So if all of a sudden you're 9 feet tall and you're green, we're gonna be like, oh my God, Ted, what happened to
They've
you?
always done that though. That classic cover to the Hulk Annual 1 by Steranko.
Yep.
The face on it is a Marie Severin face
I know.
pasted on.
The original Steranko face is
Was
better.
horrific looking.
Yep.
It looked monstrous.
Yep, they changed
but
it.
They must have felt it was too frightening for the young readership or something.
And that's too bad because if you go back to the Kirby ones, it's a Frankenstein monster.
monstrous, yeah.
You know, and that's what makes the character cool. You know, he's got to be a monster, and that's why I like the Lou Ferrigno Hulk because at least it's not Bill Bixby, you know, with a bizarre-looking face. It's a different guy.
Can Batman
Well,
take the Hulk?
Ruffalo did a good job.
Yeah, we already went over that.
That was a revisionist crap.
It's not revisionist anything. He did.
How did he do it?
He
Oh, he gassed
gassed him, kicked him in the stomach. He breathed it in and collapsed.
and then he ran like a
And
rat.
he didn't run. He injected him with something, so he turned back to Bruce Banner.
Ah.
Yeah,
Bah.
I remember that.
Just keep him mellow, and he's not going to turn into.
Because the
Play a
Hulk
little
is
bit of
like
Dave Matthews
unstoppable
and-
dreadnought.
Sure, if you do him right. yeah.
Intergalactically, he's
But I
like
mean, it's also an era where
unstoppable dreadnought.
that was done in an era where the Hulk was that dopey, you
Yeah.
know, purple pant
Why
wearing.
no leave
yeah.
Hulk alone?
Right, exactly.
Why puny Batman? Puny flying rodent, not leave Hulk alone.
Yeah, that kind
It's on, okay. I just wanted to say, Andy, being a doctor of comic book history and really being into it and geeking on it, I wish more people would do that. In our hobby, in our field here, comics are so awesome and the history is so fascinating that more people really need to look at it.
Yeah, I
you
agree
know,
with you.
and expand their horizon. It's not just Marvel. It's not just Spider-Man.
Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff going on, and it's fascinating.
It's modern mythology.
It is.
That's what it is, yeah.
And
Yeah,
it's,
and
people-
it's enveloping the culture.
People need to embrace their inner geek.
Yeah, embrace your inner geek.
yeah,
I love
there
it.
is no better time than to be a geek right now.
No, geek is chic right now.
Yeah.
That's great. The movies, the books, the shows, everything. I mean, it's a great time for us.
Yeah, it's a whole
Golden era.
It's a whole different world.
Anybody in there? Oh.